Welcome back, folks. We're outside the workshop today because of space constraints. Anyhow, I wanted to do a overview of my homemade Alaska mill system. At its most basic, the Alaska mill is just a guide that runs parallel to the bar so you can saw a consistent depth in a rip cut. Here's the guide I made. It recessed cross members to help straddle the radius, and only the rails touch the length of the log. This bit of plywood and super strut then ride along that guide and provide a consistent depth of cut. And then I've made wooden spacers on threaded rods so I can adjust the thickness to whatever I like. Close up of some of the other features. Let me show you its features.
For a power head, I've chosen a Husqvarna 395 XP, which I do have to baby a little, but that's a topic for another video.
To keep the bar and chain cool and lubricated, I also made this auxiliary oiler. It consists of this PVC reservoir and is gravity fed through a vinyl tube, through a quarter turn on-off valve. Near the bar, I've held the tube in place with a grounding rod clamp, which worked out excellently for this application, and then it just dribbles right where the chain meets the bar. It's critical to get the oil right at this spot so it actually gets where it needs to be. Additionally, it is being applied to the chain after the turn around the nose. This way, it's not flung off by inertia as it makes that turn around the radius. Because the saw pulls itself very hard into the wood while you're milling, it needs some sort of guide. In this case, I've put this piece of aluminum with two wheels on it. I actually experimented with two different kinds. These are like a roller skate wheel. They don't work as well as a square profile luggage wheel. And in fact, I think I'm going to switch out to these casters off an old bed frame because they're even wider and therefore won't follow the deep furrows of Douglas fir bark. Even with two large men running the mill, it was way too much work. This little hand winch from the Hazard Fraught solved that problem. And this is where the super strut comes in. It allows me to position the winch close to myself for single person operation, or further towards the tip for a partner to operate it. And it's mounted with the center bolt of the winch itself, just right through the super strut into one of the square nuts designed to work with that system. Speaking of the super strut, I use this 1/2 inch threaded rod, and that nut is actually a perfect fit for the large end of the Husky Scrench. That was a nice bonus. The reason I use this threaded rod system is because it allows me to change the chain without taking the entire mill off, as you have with the Granberg style where it's clamped on. That said, a much better, cleaner machine can be made if you use the aluminum quad rail like Flowering Elbow did. Link in the description. Thanks for watching. I hope you found something informative here. In the near future, I'll post another video with some of the tips that I've learned. This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test to see if my knees can support getting back up from this position.